Hey there, Cowboys fans. Hope you're doing well. Now we've got something pretty exciting to dive into today, and it has been stirring up a lot of buzz recently. The rumors surrounding the Dallas Cowboys potentially trading up to the #1 pick in the upcoming NFL draft. Yes, you heard that right. There's talk of the Cowboys possibly making a move to land that coveted top spot. So where did this rumor come from? Well, it all started with a statement from Mike Florio. He threw out the idea that the Cowboys might be eyeing that #1 pick and, more specifically, could be looking to make a trade with the Tennessee Titans. Now, obviously, anytime a rumor like this surfaces, the experts get involved. And while some are cautiously entertaining the idea, others have completely shut it down, saying it's highly unlikely that such a blockbuster trade would happen. So what's the deal here? Is there any real chance the Cowboys could pull off something as bold as trading up to #1? Or is this just another pipe dream thrown out there for the fans to talk about? The idea is exciting, right? Just imagine the possibilities. But at the same time, we've got to ask, are the Cowboys in a position to make such a risky move? This trade would undoubtedly require sacrificing a lot of assets, and the cost could be pretty steep. Now, I want to hear from you, Cowboys Nation. Do you think this is a bold move worth making, or is it just too risky? Would you want to see the Cowboys go all in to grab the #1 pick, even if it means giving up some of their valuable assets? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Are you for or against it? And hey, while you're at it, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on any of the latest updates and analysis. As we dig deeper into this, let's start thinking about what this would mean if the Cowboys actually made a trade like this. Would they be able to build on it, or would it turn out to be a big mistake? Stay with me, because we're about to dive into the impact that a trade like this could have on the team's future. All right, now that we've talked about the rumors and what a potential trade to the #1 pick might look like, let's dive into the meat of it. One of the most intriguing parts of this trade talk has been the speculation that the Cowboys could be willing to include someone like Micah Parsons in the deal. Yes, you read that right, Micah Parsons. Now imagine the fallout if the Cowboys were to actually offer up their star pass rusher as part of a trade for the top pick. There's no denying how valuable Parsons is to this defense. The guy's a beast on the field and one of the most dynamic players in the league. But here's the thing, the #1 pick comes with a lot of potential. You're talking about getting a franchise-changing player, someone who could redefine the future of your team. But is it worth giving up one of the top defensive players in the league? Let's break it down. If the Cowboys trade up to the #1 pick, it would almost certainly involve giving up multiple high-value assets. That's likely going to include at least one big-name player, and Parsons would be the most obvious choice. But is that the right move? Sure, the Cowboys would get a shot at a future superstar, but do they risk losing their best defensive player to make that happen? Here's where it gets tricky. From a cost-benefit perspective, a trade like this could drastically change the landscape of the team. Losing Parsons could weaken the defense, but acquiring a player who could be an immediate impact on offense or another area of need could balance things out. So let me ask you, what do you think? Is trading Parsons worth the risk for the #1 pick? Would you be willing to sacrifice one of the Cowboys' biggest stars for a shot at that top draft spot? Or do you think the Cowboys should hold on to their key players and build around them instead? Drop your opinions in the comments below, because I'm genuinely curious to hear your thoughts on this one. The stakes are high, and it's going to be interesting to see how the Cowboys approach this potential move. But let's not forget, there are other considerations here too. What if they don't make the trade? What are some of the alternatives the Cowboys could explore if they decide to stay put and keep their current roster intact? We'll get into that next. Now let's shift gears a bit and talk about one of the rising stars on the Cowboys. Defensive line Odigizua. With all the buzz around draft picks and potential trades, It's easy to forget that the Cowboys have some key players whose futures are still up in the air, including OSA. OSA has been a standout player on the defensive line for the Cowboys, and his importance to the team cannot be overstated. But the big question is, will the Cowboys be able to lock him down long-term? We've seen reports that Brian Schottenheimer and the coaching staff are highly confident in Osa's ability to make a difference on defense, and it looks like there's a strong push to keep him around. From a contract perspective, though, this is no easy task. The Cowboys are going to need to figure out how to manage their cap space and potentially offer OSA a deal that reflects his growing value. If the Cowboys can't get a deal done, they risk losing a crucial part of their defensive front, which would be a huge blow, especially considering the development we've seen from him in recent seasons. Now let me ask you, how do you feel about Osa's future with the Cowboys? Do you think the team should go all in and offer him a hefty extension? Or do you think it might be better to explore other options in the market? With the defense continuing to improve, Osa could be an important piece moving forward. But does he fit into the Cowboys' long-term vision? I'm really curious to hear your thoughts on this one, so make sure to drop your opinions down below. Should OSA be a cornerstone of the defense, or do the Cowboys have other priorities? And as we keep an eye on how things unfold with OSA, it's also essential to see how the team's strategy will evolve under Schottenheimer. We've touched on how confident he is in OSA, but what about the rest of the defensive plans moving forward? Now that we've covered some of the roster movements and key players like OSA, let's shift focus to something equally important: how the Cowboys are shaping their coaching staff under Brian Schottenheimer. You know, we've been hearing a lot about Schottenheimer's philosophy and how it's influencing the team's development. It's more than just about calling plays or strategizing. It's about building a solid foundation for long-term success. Schottenheimer's approach is all about balance. He's not just looking for veteran coaches who bring experience to the table, but also for fresh, innovative minds that can bring new ideas to the game. It's a mix of stability and adaptability too, things the Cowboys have needed in recent seasons. Schottenheimer's got a vision for how he wants his staff to work, and that vision includes a blend of tradition and modern coaching tactics. One of the key additions to his staff is Clayton Adams, who comes with a lot of buzz surrounding him. Adams is expected to bring fresh insights into developing talent, especially on the offensive side of the ball. Under Schottenheimer's guidance, we should see a renewed focus on maximizing player potential, which could help the Cowboys build a more consistent and dynamic offense. But here's where I want to get your opinion. Do you trust Schottenheimer's picks for the coaching staff? We know he's been making some bold decisions, but does he have enough experience to make it work? Or do you think he needs to bring in even more big names to really make a difference? Take a second to think about that and let me know in the comments. I want to know if you think Schottenheimer's coaching staff will be the right fit for the Cowboys' success in the coming seasons. Now let's talk about the future of the Cowboys' offensive line. It's no secret that this is one of the most crucial aspects of the team's success moving forward, especially when you look at how important it is to protect Dak Prescott and open up running lanes for Tony Pollard. So let's get into the updates on two key players, Tyler Guyton and Cooper Beebe, who could play pivotal roles in shaping the Cowboys' offensive line for years to come. Tyler Guyton, a young prospect who's been impressing during his workouts, is one to keep an eye on. He's been putting in the work to solidify his position on the line, and we've been hearing a lot of positive things about his development. Guyton is working on both his strength and his technique, and if he continues to progress, he could become a cornerstone of the offensive line in the future. But with so much competition, do you think he'll be able to earn a starting spot? Then, there's Cooper Beebe, who has been generating some buzz as well. He's a versatile player who could potentially be moved around within the offensive line. With the possible retirement of Zach Martin, Beebe could fill in that key role and contribute significantly to the line's overall strength. But does he have the potential to become a long-term starter for the Cowboys? Or should they be looking to bring in some more talent via the draft or free agency? Schottenheimer's role in all of this will be to help these players reach their potential. With his eye for developing players, he might just be the right coach to help Guyton and Beebe become pillars of the offensive line. So now it's time to hear from you. Do you think Guyton and Beebe have the potential to become key pieces for the Cowboys' offensive line? Or should they look for reinforcements in the upcoming draft? Let me know what you think in the comments below. This is a position group that'll make or break the Cowboys' future.